India's Watergate scandal, the biggest story of our time, the Pegasus project, is being called all sorts of names. Lengthy articles are being written, some even suggesting a Nixon-like exit for the Indian leadership. It's been 3 days since the Pegasus story was broken. Big names have now been added to the list of possible targets. The list includes international leaders like French President Emmanuel Macron, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan. If the names are big, the claims even bigger, like this one. The Guardian reports Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, was selected as a person of interest by India in 2019. In other words, India snooped on Imran Khan. Convenient conclusion, but where's the evidence? In fact, the whole Pegasus project is in want of evidence. There is nothing to pin the blame on any one agency, authority, or individual. And that is the biggest loophole. Let me repeat what we've been saying. If such a snooping did indeed take place, it should by all means be investigated. But until there's evidence, let's hold our horses. Tonight on Gravitas, we'll discuss the updated list of possible targets, the legal options for investigating cyber surveillance, the latest developments from India, Pakistan and France, and finally the curious case of the NSO's silence. First, a quick reminder of some facts. Number one, the whole story is based on a leaked database. Number two, the database talks about, quote-unquote, potential targets. There is no confirmation that all the 50,000 potential targets were snooped upon. 300 of them were from India. And now we have some world leaders on the list. French President Emmanuel Macron, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros, former Prime Minister of Lebanon Saad Hariri, President of the European Council Charles Michel, King Mohammed VI of Morocco, also Prime Minister Saadetdine Othmani of Morocco, and former Mexican President Felipe Calderón. How were they compromised? The leak says with a spyware called Pegasus. It is owned by an Israeli company called NSO. Who ordered the snooping? We don't know. Every outlet reporting on the story has its own list of villains. I'll come back to the Guardian story. It not only points fingers at governments believed to be responsible for snooping, but also manages to narrow down on the year when the targets were chosen. Take a look at this. Cyril Ramaphosa appears to have been selected by Rwanda in 2019. Tedros Ghebreyesus, WHO Director General, appears to have been of interest to Morocco in 2019. Felipe Calderón was selected by what is believed to have been a Mexican client. Emmanuel Macron appears to have been selected as a person of interest by Morocco in 2019. Do you spot the similarity? Every statement talks about possibility and what, quote-unquote, appears to have been. But what's the basis of these charges? Like I said, there are big names, bigger claims, but no evidence. For that, you need an investigation. France and Pakistan have already started one. France is trying to find out who ordered the snooping on its president. And Pakistan is trying to prove how India deployed the Pegasus spyware on Imran Khan's phone. Back in India, the Pegasus project has rained on the monsoon session of Parliament. Opposition parties have demanded a joint parliamentary committee probe. What is a joint parliamentary committee? It's an ad hoc body set up with a specific objective for a specific duration. For now, India's Parliamentary Committee on Information Technology has decided to discuss the Pegasus project on the 28th of July. That's a step in the right direction, but what will it lead to? Experts are skeptical. We spoke to some of them on the legal options for investigating cyber surveillance. And this is what they tell us. First of all, you need credible inputs. For instance, you need the NSO to give you names of its clients. Will the NSO do that? It won't. It has signed non-disclosure agreements. Are there international laws that can force the NSO to cough up names? The answer is no. Only the government of Israel can force the NSO to give names. But will it do so? Of course not. Israel uses the spyware as its diplomatic leverage. NSO spywares were reportedly offered to Gulf countries, the likes of the UAE, Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. What for? In exchange of improved bilateral ties. So why on earth will Israel kill this golden goose? The whole Pegasus project has many such questions, in fact. Like I said, a lot of conjecture and joining the dots based on your political leanings. Is government-sponsored snooping a possibility? Of course it is. That's the reason why companies like NSO are in business. Is it wrong? Again, yes, it is, of course. A violation of your privacy is a violation of your rights. It should not happen. But did it happen? And who did it? Well, those are questions we don't have clear answers to. So wait before you jump to conclusions. Another question, though. Who, according to you, is the biggest villain in this entire affair? Is it the NSO, the company that made the spyware? Is it Israel that allows such a company to operate? Or its Ministry of Defense that approves every license before each sale? Vetted governments. Is it the numerous unknown quote-unquote vetted governments that bought the spyware? Does the company know the extent to which its product is being used/misused? Of course it does. There are AMCs, annual maintenance contracts in place. So NSO's claims of innocence and ignorance are bogus. If anything, NSO not talking is only adding to the chain of speculation. What's wrong with speculation, you may ask, and I will tell you. Cyber warfare, you see, is not your traditional gun battle. A system of a particular country can be hacked from another country on behalf of a third country. So unless there is proof, it will be foolish to say that because Imran Khan was hacked, it had to be India. It does not work that way. Again, for the record, hacking is unethical, and nothing can justify deployment of spyware on citizens, on individuals. The perpetrator must be held accountable, but for that, we need solutions, not speculation. We need laws to rein in spywares, enforce transparency, force companies like the NSO to disclose their client list, force governments to declare if they're using the taxpayers' money to buy such software. Only then can such charges be investigated. Let me give you a little context here. The Defense Ministry of Israel recently told a media outlet that Israel regulates marketing and export of cyber products in accordance with the 2007 Defense Export Act, and that the control lists are based on the Wassenaar arrangement. What is this arrangement? It's an international agreement signed after the Cold War to ensure more responsible and transparent arms trade. The agreement has a list of restricted technologies. Are spywares like Pegasus a part of it? They aren't. Human rights bodies have tried to include spyware in this agreement, but they've failed, courtesy resistance from cybersecurity firms, a lot of whom, by the way, are based out of the US. In fact, between 2014 and 2019, the NSO too was owned by an American company, Francisco Partners, an American private equity firm. Come to think of it, look at the whole nature of this leak. Look at the countries where most of the potential targets are: Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Rwanda, Mexico, India. Where are the European countries? Where is the United States of America? Are we to believe that no one is snooped on in the West, and that the West snoops on no one? Whom are we kidding? Just 2 months back, there were reports that the US was spying on its allies with the help of the Danish intelligence. On its list were politicians from Germany, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Washington was also spying on leaders from Sweden, Norway, and France. No country can claim to not be guilty of systemic eavesdropping. And yes, two wrongs do not make a right. But to name names, we first need evidence. So far, everything about the Pegasus project is in the realm of speculation. It's all going around in circles and churning fodder for everyone's agenda. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.